Hi there, it's Cheryl Truesdale, and I am so thrilled that you're here with me for this week's episode of Cheryl Shares TV, your station for inspiration. And to inspire you today, I'm going to share a personal confession. So recently, very recently as a matter of fact, I was totally thrown off my game by a massive attack of self-doubt. We are talking complete emotional breakdown here. Honestly, I haven't been hit that hard by self-doubt in quite some time. It was all-consuming, and it literally stopped me dead in my tracks. Has this ever happened to you? Where all of a sudden you doubt everything about yourself? Well, as you can see, I was able to get over that and recover, thank goodness. But at the time, I wasn't so sure that I was ever going to be able to move past all the emotional pain that I was feeling. But fortunately, I have a few strategies to use when this happens, which is why in this week's episode, I'm going to share 2 of those strategies that you can use to conquer self-doubt in your own life. So the next time it tries to sneak up on you, and it will, it always does, you're going to be ready for it. So in case you're curious about what it was that shook me up so bad, let me tell you. It actually seems a bit silly now, but at the time, it was anything but silly. So what happened was I wake up one morning and find my website and all my social media sites hit with technical problems all at the same time. Everything was in disarray. It was like the perfect storm, you know, when you have problems hit you from every single direction? Yeah, it was one of those kind of days. Well, for some reason, it was enough to start a vicious cycle of self-doubt. And what I think happened was the technical problems were there, and that's a weakness for me. So I had an initial thought of self-doubt. And then my brain latched onto that thought, and it had a field day from there. It was like one negative thought led to another negative thought, led to another negative thought, until before I knew it, I was in a major emotional crisis. I was so far gone I couldn't even cry. I couldn't take a deep breath, and my stomach was in knots. By the time I realized what was going on and I'd been hit with an attack of self-doubt, it was too late for me to do my usual reboot and kind of shake it off and move on. No, this was one of those situations where I was going to have to get real strategic to deal with my negative thinking. So here's what I did. I began confronting the negative thoughts I was having. Oh, thoughts like, I am so dumb when it comes to technology. I can't even believe I tried this. And then there was another negative thought that I confronted, and it was this one. Who do I think I am to even try this? I'm a nobody. Yeah, harsh, I know, but you know what? I am just keeping it real. These are the thoughts I was thinking. I doubted my ability, and worse, I doubted my value. No wonder I was so thrown off my game. So real quick, before I share the 2 strategies, I want to clear up a myth about self-doubt. Self-doubt is not a weakness. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with you just because you doubt yourself. It's actually quite normal. Even the most confident people struggle with it sometimes, which is why it's so important to have strategies in place to use to conquer self-doubt when it rears its ugly head. So if you've ever experienced doubting, your ability or doubting your value, then pay real close attention because both of these strategies deal with both of those topics. Strategy number 1, build confidence about your ability. So you do this by reminding yourself that you were born fully equipped to make the unique contribution that only you can give to the world. Whatever you're meant to do on this planet, you came into the world with everything you need to do what you were designed to do. Make sense? Now, I know we've talked about comparison in a past episode, but I want to bring it up again today because of its power to cause self-doubt. Comparing what you're doing with what you see other people doing is a common trap that can cause self-doubt. It's really easy to set expectations and standards for ourselves based on what we see other people doing. So, before you use what you see them doing to develop your own guidelines for yourself, I want you to consider this. Maybe the self-doubt that you experience rises because you're comparing your behind the scenes with their highlight reel. Let me give you a perfect example. Can you say, Facebook? I mean, come on. In Facebook, you can project whatever image of your life that you like. And most people don't put the negative stuff up there, right? So when you're looking into other people's lives on Facebook, just remember that you're probably seeing the highlight reel. Now don't get me wrong, I love Facebook as much as the next guy. I just remind myself that I'm not seeing the whole story. So why would I set expectations and standards for myself based on their highlight reel? Trust me, they got a behind the scenes going on too. Strategy number 2, build confidence about your value. You're born with infinite value. It can't be decided, and it never fluctuates, no matter how you feel. So be careful that you're not deceived into believing that somehow your value and worth can be determined. It's really impossible because you're born with it. It's kind of like a byproduct of being alive. Now, while this is true, you are born with complete and perfect value equal to every other human being. It doesn't guarantee that you'll have a valid sense of your worth and value. The only thing that changes about your worth is the way you experience your worth, but not the worth itself. In other words, the experience of your worth may change, but never the worth itself. Your value remains the same no matter how you feel about you. So there you have it, 2 strategies you can use to conquer the devastating effects of self-doubt. You see, many times, the only thing that's standing between where you are and where you want to be is self-doubt. And if this is true for you, let me encourage you to use these 2 strategies to overcome your self-doubt. So get going already. Decide where you want to be, make 1 step in that direction, and use these 2 strategies to neutralize any self-doubt you may encounter so that you can move forward to exactly where you want to be. Now, I'd love to hear how these strategies are working for you. I always love to see how different people experience them. And you can let me in on all the juicy details over at CherylTruesdale.com in the comments section. So, do you feel inspired now? If so, would you like to inspire someone? Someone you know who could use a little love, hope, and inspiration to brighten their day? Got someone in mind? Then all you need to do to make a difference in their life right now is simply share this video with them. I am honored that you joined me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV. Now, to make sure you get your dose of inspiration every week, just head on over to CherylTruesdale.com and sign up for email updates. That way you'll never miss an episode. And remember, you are amazing. You do matter, and you most certainly do deserve to live a happy life that you love. I'll see you next week, my friend. Bye.